Hey guys, we are here today to talk about this Strafe design front splitter that's currently on a MK6 GTI. When Jake and I were installing it, we learned quite a few things through trial and error because Strafe's instructions are pretty universal. They're not very car specific, and there's about 8 steps. That boils down to take the bumper off, mount the splitter, put it back on. Not very car specific on where you want to mount everything and just what depth you want things to be at. So we're going to talk about some tips and tricks on how to get this front splitter the best that it possibly can be on a MK6 GTI in particular. And that is going to include replacing some hardware with some stuff I found at Lowe's, like these black rubber spacers instead of the silver ones that kind of are very, very evident in broad daylight underneath there. So we're going to get in. We've broken this video up into 3 segments. We've got alignment, mounting hardware, and support rods. So first, we're going to start with the alignment and where you want it and where you might want it, because there is some preference involved with this.
Jake and I basically nailed the side-to-side alignment. If anything, we're just about a ½ inch off. But I will say, having a second person to help line everything up, hold something still, to make sure it looks the best that it can be is basically essential. You could do it by yourself, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Now, here's where a bit of preference comes into play. As you can see on mine, the splitter is a little bit further forward than flush with the fender right here. I'm pretty sure implied in Strafe Design's instructions is you want the splitter to be lined up perfectly right here. That just seems exactly where the design wants it to be. However, I wanted as aggressive of a front splitter as I could get, so I mounted this as far forward as I felt comfortable while still being secure. If we moved it 1.5 inches back, I'd have 1.5 inches less at the front up there. But man, that just looks way too good. I will tell you, it's very, very, very secure right here. This is about as far forward as I think you can realistically go. We're on the back edge of the aluminum of the splitter on the holes that we drilled, and we're the lowest-ish point on the front bumper without getting onto the little splash guard underneath. So this is probably about as far forward as you can go. If you don't like it, you can mount it for the back. If you like it, you can do it exactly like this. This is about one of the few things that is preference, at least I'd call really preference on this install. Next, we're gonna get to the mounting hardware, which for me, it's kind of preference, but it's not really, is those spacers. They're very metallic silver, very easily seen in daylight. Any little bit of light hits it, and you'll get a reflection. So this is true preference. The other one probably will look much better with the black rubber spacers that we've got. But next up on our tips to install the Strafe Design front splitter is going to be the hardware for mounting it to the car.
A full list of hardware used with item numbers from Lowe's will be listed in the description. It only cost me $16, so it's rather cheap. It includes new rubber spacers, lock nuts, bolts, and washers. Everything you need. The only concern I might have is how the rubber will hold up to wind and weather. I'll provide an update if need be. You can access all the bolts without removing the front bumper. It's a bit tight, but you can. And here's the moment I thought you couldn't.
Shoot.
On the driver's side, a ratchet can fit over top. The passenger side is a little different, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. On install, I wanted to mount the bolts with the threads inside the vehicle to reduce the risk of hitting speed bumps or other objects, but forgot when the time came. So make sure when you're reinstalling the bolts, you put them in the proper orientation. And now for the passenger side. Because the turbo outlet pipe is so close to the fender liner, I had to raise the car up, remove the wheel, and remove the inner fender liner. It's very easy, only a couple of T25 screws and it'll come right out. The reason I'm replacing the bolts on the far side of the splitter is because I put a washer in between the bumper and the splitter. It's very evident, and removing it makes the splitter look a lot better. Replacing the spacers in the middle is a bit more difficult. An 11mm box wrench will fit over top, and a ratchet or driver will undo the bolt from underneath. It takes a bit of bending, but it'll all fit. I used 3 of the black rubber spacers for each bolt and replaced each locking nut Strafe provided, just for peace of mind. I will tell you, 3 of those wasn't enough. A 4th or even a 5th is necessary to get it perfectly flush, but I want to see how the rubber holds up before buying more and installing them.
And then the last portion of this video is the support rods. The first thing that I'm going to tell you to do is do not mount them where we mounted them. I thought I looked at the picture beforehand, but you're actually supposed to mount them not by this top fin, but by the middle one. That'll give you plenty of space for you to actually mount this so it's flat and not tilted up just a touch. Probably be some B-roll over top to show you exactly what I mean, but you want them lower. But I don't want to take them off and drill another hole because that would just look a heckin' lot worse than what I'm about to do, I think. Because there'd just be a hole and then mounted there and you'd just be obvious that you messed it up. So what we've done is I've got some bolts that, I don't know if you can see this, are about 1 inch longer. And what I'm gonna do is take these 2 bolts and sandwich the splitter between them down lower. So it's not gonna be all the way up to this U bracket where the bolt sits in, but it's actually gonna be lower. I mean, it's nothing special, but hopefully it works. That's what we're gonna try out, and if it does, it's a tip and a trick, and if it doesn't, don't do it. I mean, I've already messed up the support rods enough, so maybe don't listen to me on this part, but we're gonna have fun.
Remounting the support rods required a bit more experimenting than the rest of the splitter. Using 2 bolts to sandwich the splitter is a great idea, but needed some fine tuning. I added a lock washer to the bottom bolt to secure it in place and moved the top around to adjust it to make it flatter. Lowe's had a limited selection of the size of bolt I needed, so I ended up with a sheet metal screw with a Phillips head that barely fit the bracket. Some bending of the bracket was required, and unfortunately not shown, to get the new screw to fit. The rod was still able to be attached, and tightening down bent the bracket back into place. On the second support rod, I noticed the screw didn't want to stay in place. It needed to be locked down. I took some of the spare nuts and locking washers and added a 3rd nut to the assembly to lock the screw into the bracket. This worked surprisingly well. The locking washer is really needed here too. After a bit of fine tuning, I wanted to take the car out to see how it looked. And wow, does it look amazing. There's still a lot to do to make this the best that it can be, including those new rubber spacers. But man, you can tell it looks like it belongs on this car. The black really blends in, and you can tell from the before and after that it really needed to be replaced. That shiny silver just stood out like a sore thumb. Now it blends in beautifully. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much. Please subscribe. Have a great day, and remember, Jesus loves you. Bye.